Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of Death on the Pitch. We're just about to go into our final week, so things are getting pretty tense at the top. There is still a game left to be played this round, but due to timings I'm just going to have to record the show now, so apologies, so we won't have all the results in, but the key ones are all in now. So we're going to start off by taking a look at the results from the last round. So first of all, we had myself and Callum. Now that actually was a bit of a banger of a game. The elves were quite far down in TV, but they had access to a wizard and a babe, so it always makes things a little bit interesting. And there was a score from each coach in each half, so the game ended 2-2, really close. Bit of a hero play at the end of the game for the elves, which is actually our play of the week, so we'll go and take a look at that shortly. And then followed by a blitz as well, so that nearly ended 3-2 for the elves, and then nearly ended 3-2 for the Nurgle, but I hadn't set up in a way to take advantage of what happened. So really close game. Both of us would have felt much better with a win, but a draw doesn't knock us out of playoffs, so super tense one, and a very hard game as well. I felt very nervous all the way through that one. Then we have Knights on the Tiles versus the Stabby Stabbingtons, so the Bretts and the Orcs. Again, the Bretts, due to some hardware issues, could not actually get to the game, so Stabbies pick up the win there. Blackmore Knights versus Den Bastard Orcs, so this is Cammy and Crazy. Unfortunately, this is one that hasn't been played yet. I'm wondering whether it will, just due to available time, but that'll be a rough game for the Chaos if it does go ahead. Chaos are currently sat at 820 TV, and just to confirm, that is 820, not 1820, so they've had a bit of a bashing this season. The Orcs, as I'm sure most of you know now, they're currently our top of the league. They've only dropped one game in, I think, 2 seasons. So, yeah, that's always going to be a tough match for the Chaos there. Then below, this was way more entertaining than it had any right to be. Rookie coach Mamiglin coming in and pulling off the upset draw against Abnorman and the Cute Patooties. Interesting game. Some very, very interesting plays. And a lot of BMing from the Necro coach, that he had the opportunity to go for some 2 dice up hills, and he's like, nah, I'm just going to 1 dice it, screw it. That's how confident he was. So yeah, that was a really interesting game. It went out of the normal flow of what Blood Bowl is. Ones like that are always quite entertaining to watch. So yeah, good result there for Mamiglin. I think Norman's probably a little bit disappointed with that, but he's still second in the league, so he shouldn't be too concerned with a draw there. Raw Remains versus the WWE Legends. Unfortunately, the Remainers could not make it to the stadium this week. So Leffy picks up a 2-1 win there. Let's see how that impacts his playoff hopes. I'm not sure if he can still make it, but we'll find out together in a moment. And then Jurassic Raptors versus Dead Inside Out. We called this as the game of the week, and it was super entertaining. There was all sorts. There was blitzes. There was skink casualties. Every time a skink got hit, it went off the field injured. So that was a really cool one to watch. Leo picking up the win there, but that tells me that Mr. Ben, skill-wise, is pretty much up there because Leo's a very good coach. So he's my opponent next week. I've got a lot on my hands after that game. So, enough with the results, let's have a look at the leaderboard. So, Crazy's not played yet, but he's still at the top of the division. It's likely that he'll pick up a win or a draw due to Cammy's availability, so he's got that number 1 spot locked down in reality. Norman's still at second with 7-1 and 2, and then myself and Callum, who played this week, 6-2-2, 6-1-3. That was an opportunity really for either of us to put a bit of distance between the other one, but now we're still kind of floating around that area, so it's a little tough. but we are both in good shape. It depends on the results from the coming round. Leo 613. So Leo is the same as Callum now. So there's technically 5 of us that are sat in like a playoff contention. So that would then go down to like games played against each other and how that works out. Let's hope the results give us something a little bit more definitive there. Lefe 514. Now, depending on the results of these two guys, if he picks up a win, he could literally just be on the same level. So, you know, and the same with the Stabby Stabbingtons. He picks up a win here. These guys don't. Boom. We could potentially have like 6 people that all, you know, by just blanket score qualify. So it's going to be I'm going to have to do some maths, and I really don't want to do that. So yeah, this is going to get really interesting. The only one that I think is definitely out, I think, and I'm sorry to say, is Mr. Ben. Purely because he's got the 5 here and he's got the no draw. So he's either won or he's lost. There's been no in between. He would need to pick up a win against myself. That's going to be such a key game, actually. If he can beat me, then it really opens it up for these guys as well. If I can get a draw or if I can get a win, then I'm safe. I think a draw would get me through, actually, looking at this. Mamiglin, so Miggy's joined in the league really late, and he's actually had some really good performances. So, yeah, good job for Miggy there. And then Cammy at the bottom here, again, he's had, it's 860, 860 chaos, not 820. But yeah, you know, Cammy's had some really rough games since joining the league. So, you know, if you've got a team that's got slow development and then you take a ton of casualties early on, it's never going to be an easy ride. I know Cammy's going to be re-rolling his team for next season. So season 3, he's likely to have something a little bit different, which, you know, I don't really blame him. It's probably better to have a 1000 TV team at this point. And then Raw remains 037. Had a bit of a tough season, struggled to attend a few of the games as well, just due to scheduling conflicts and stuff. But, you know, that I believe is his last game in the league. So if you're watching, dude, thank you so much for taking part. Doors always open if you want to come back in the future. And then Uberspoons. Uberspoons had hardware issues, so he's not been able to take part all season, bless him. He's going to take season 3 off, but he's going to come back for season 4. So great guy to have in the league, always good banter. And he just, every single play he throws is a hero play, so you can never feel comfortable when you're playing against him. So yeah, looking forward to get Uberspoons back, and yeah, that'll be sweet. So let's go and look at the games for the final round, because this is going to be really important, who plays who. So first of all, you've got the Holloway Harlequins, so Callum and his elves against the Cutie Patooties. So that is Norman. So that's a huge game. That's number 4 against number 2. You've got to think Callum, to feel safe, would want to pick up a win here. Can he get it done against Norman's team? I'm not too sure. But I believe we're going to make this one our match of the week. Just having a scan through now quickly before I go back. Yeah, so this is going to be our match of the week this week. So let's have a deeper look at those 2 teams. So we've got Abnorman, so 1510 of Norse. Finally has his full 11 back. He's got a lot of permanent injuries. I think next season, season 3, I think he might struggle with this team purely because his key players are going to be missing more often. But he's in a good spot. He's got a lot of block. He's got tackle. He's only got 1 tackle, actually. And this is something that I really struggled with against Callum, is I could not get his players on the floor. So having his killer with tackle is actually really important. So that's a nice skill up from there. But he doesn't have it anywhere else. Now, Callum has a lot of dodge, but he doesn't have as much block. So potentially you can look to go down that route. I wasn't successful. I didn't really get many of them down. But yeah, overall, really solid team. So you've got the killer here. Block Frenzy, Jump Up, Mighty Blow, Tackle, Piling On, and a Niggling Injury, which has taken away 1 movement, which does actually hurt him, especially if there's snow. Snow could really make it difficult to use this guy effectively. We do have another one here that's Mighty Blow Pilot God, but no tackle. I imagine that at the end of the season, he would probably look to see if he wants to keep this guy going or not. I think it would depend on if he can pick up tackle on this guy. An Earth with Mighty Blow Block. He's his ball carrier, who is a lineman with block, sure hands, dodge, and guard, which is pretty nice. Then we've got a fens, sure hands, guard, and then a couple more blocks. He's actually got a second Earth, which he's named Megalyn, which I think suits the player. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm super excited to watch and cast this game. I'm going to see if one of our newer streamer coaches would be interested in jumping in and actually casting this game with me as well. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do there. Let's look at Callum's Dirty Elves. Now, Callum as well, he has a very interesting play style, and I say interesting not as an insult, I just mean it's different from anything I've ever played against. And it's almost like, you know, in like a fighting game when you're fighting someone that's just really elusive, so you'll throw 400 shots at them and you'll only like skim them with 3 or 4, and you might only land one solid one. And this is what it really felt like playing against Callum. He does an amazing job at keeping his Armor 7 players very safe, keeping a good distance, and also always making sure that he's got scoring threats. And he's very difficult to deal with, actually. And, you know, there was some elf bullshit in our game, but a lot of it was from good positioning and good setup play. He really went for it on a couple of plays as well, and when it pays off, it pays off. You know, when someone's got Agi 5, you cannot relax. You've got to get that player off the field. So we'll take a look at his team. There's a couple of star players. The blitzers are just annoying. Sidestep, fend on that guy is super annoying. But yeah, the sidestep block dodge, if you don't have tackle, is super hard to deal with. So I imagine that he's going to be sending his killer after these guys early. I think the prime target will be this catcher here, though. So this guy really was the one that put me to bed. It was the Agility 5, block dodge, catch. You'll see in the Player of the Week how well he works, and this is an awesome player. So this guy might get a feature a bit later in the show, if you know what I'm talking about. Also, another pain, this chap here. Again, he's just got base skills, but the way Callum uses him is really effective. You do not get to hit this guy. So while he's not got block or dodge, you're never going to lay a hand on him unless it's the defensive drive. Then you might get a shot if he's out of position. But on the offensive drive, he's protected very well, and he's just allowed to do what he needs to do. So yeah, those are the teams. I'm going to call Abnorman. I'm going to say the cute patooties here. No disrespect to Callum at all, because Callum's a very, very good coach. It's purely because I just hate elves. So that's the reason for my pick. Nothing based on the teams or anything like that. I just hate elves. Then you've got WWE Legends versus them Bastard Orcs. Now, oh my god, this is such a good game. This is going to be game 2 of the week. I'm going to cast this one as well. So, I was going to take a look at these teams. The WWE Legends. Now, 2 of these guys have bounties on them. Absolutely nasty team, though. I'm just going to give you guys a second to just take a look at this team. You've got a ton of zombies down here. You've got loads of wrestle, dirty player, guard, block. Nice setup. Not too much invested there if you look at the relevant team values of the teams in the league. And it's some nice fodder. Only 1 ghoul, but I guess with Necro, you do not need to have multiple ghouls, especially because they have the most broken player in the game, which we'll cover in a second. But he's got blodge, so, you know, fairly effective. Crazy does have a lot of tackle, though, so that's something that might come into effect. Now, you've got your 2 werewolf players, so Rowdy, Roddy, Piper. This guy, absolute demon with the ball, so he's blodge, claw, frenzy, regen, and he's a real good scoring threat for Lefe. Mr. Perfect, or as I like to call him, Mr. Asshole. Claw, Mighty Blow, and Block, just an absolute terror, to the point where people can miss position because they're terrified of getting hit with him. So really effective player. Also has a pirate eye patch, which is sweet. So yeah, one to watch out for here. That's before we even get to the white. So you've got a strength. Oh my god, you've got a strength 4 Mighty Blow, Block, white. Wow, that guy's going to be a handful. Maybe not playoffs, although he could make playoffs. But definitely next season, that guy's going to be a handful. And then he's supported by a Mighty Blow guard, +1 movement, white as well. Flash Golems, nothing special here actually. I wonder if he's taken some Kaz's on these guys. Maybe he can let me know in the comments. But yeah, we've got a block one here and then a non-skilled one. But the real menace to these players, it's not the block, it's this stand firm here. And unless you're actually removing these guys, they can completely shut down a drive. So yeah, really nice players. They don't need to be skilled to be effective. I don't like the models for them though, if I'm honest. Right, let's go look at Crazy's team. So 1640. So there's not the biggest TV difference. There's definitely so there's 80k. So you could probably, how much money does he have? 80k. So you could actually force a wizard out, but I know Lefe's not the kind of coach that likes to use wizards. He'd prefer a star player. Let's look at these guys. First of all, they just look nasty. 90k in the bank for Crazy. He's got 12 players. He fired his troll just to manipulate some team value, I believe, when he played Norman, which didn't work out for him in the end. You've got a block guard Blackhawk, a unskilled, a block Mighty Blow, and a block. Those guys are okay, nothing special in that lot, but the blitzes are really what sets this team apart. So you've got this guy here, so he's agility 4, Mighty Blow tackle, a Mighty Blow tackle, Galdar, who's definitely got a bounty again, block, Mighty Blow, agility, and guard. And then Mighty Blow, guard, and tackle. You also have the thrower that Crazy uses very well, and I don't normally see people using Orc throws, so it's interesting to see. So he's got pass, sure hands, accurate, leader. I believe that's leader. Yeah, and block. So he gets an extra reroll from that as well on top of his 3 already. It's a nice thought actually because it's a reroll for 20k instead of 60 or 70. 60. Yeah. And then you've got block tackle lineman and a block kick lineman. So really cool looking team. Orcs struggle when they start losing their numbers though. I'm just wondering if Mr. Perfect with his block Mighty Blow claw might be able to thin some of these players out. And if they can start getting a numbers advantage over the Orcs, it might actually be a really difficult day for Crazy. I've noticed his play style tends to be like wrap your team up, and that only really works when you've got a numbers advantage. As soon as you start losing players, it can become more and more difficult. So if there is a team that's geared up at the moment to deal with Crazy, it could actually be Lefe. So I'll be very interested to see. And if he can cause any permanence, like any of these blitzers go out, that then makes the playoff run for these guys pretty difficult. So Crazy's got a big game on his hands. That was fun. Okay, next up, Dead Inside Out versus the Stabby Stabbingtons. Oh my god, this is another huge game. This is another huge game. This is match of the week number 3. I'm going to try and cast this. So let's look at the Stabby Stabbingtons. So 1610. Not quite as spectacular in terms of like doubles and things like that as Crazy's team, but really solid foundation. I've been saying this for a week. He's got block tackle, he's got block Mighty Blow, he's got sure hands, guard, and dodge, so that seems to be his ball carrier. He's got a dodge lineman and another block Mighty Blow blitzer, so he can certainly put some punishment out. Block guard, block Mighty Blow on a blitzer, Black Orc, sorry. 2 linemen and a block troll. Wow, I did not see that. Again, this is one of those teams where if you just look at the individual players, there's nothing special, but the group of them together is actually quite effective. And Stabby's been able to put on a really good run at the tail end of the season. He had a really disappointing start. Like the first few weeks, the results did not go his way. I know our game, we played week 1, and it was literally a 3-up dice to change the game from a draw to a loss. So very, very unfortunate start for the season for the Orcs, but they've really pulled it around, and they're potentially in playoff contention now. So yeah, it'd be really interesting one to see actually. And he is playing, I believe, Leo Loca, so dead inside out. Let me just double check. Yep. 1540. So what's the 2v difference? Okay, so it's not a huge amount. Yeah. Nothing spectacular, and there's no money to spend here. So, wow, this is first of all, how many subs? Wow. Okay, he's got a mummy out. This was big. This was an injury he took last week. This was a really big injury he took last week, and it was towards the end of the game against Mr. Ben, in a game that he had wrapped up. And he takes a -1 movement on a mummy. He was strength 6, block, and multiple blow. Multiple block. Multiple blow is a skill that I accidentally made up once in a tabletop tournament. More on that later. But yeah, this is now one of those like risk-reward players. He's essentially a treeman, and the funny thing is he stands up in the same way as a treeman does as well, in that he actually has to roll a GFI to do this. It can cause turnovers, so he'll need to make sure he's got a reroll. Also means in the snow, it's even harder to get the player up. He stands up on a 3-up, and if you fail it, you lose your turn. So really risky, but it's a great player. So, who's right or wrong to say whether you keep it or not? If it doesn't go on the floor, it doesn't matter, does it? Some other interesting players. You have this Agi5 Ghoul. I did everything I could to try and kill this thing. No, nothing stuck. Block dodge, Agi5, disgusting. Then you've got another Ghoul who is block, strip ball, and tackle. This is a great player who's very hard to deal with. Really nicely built actually, and I like seeing people use these guys as defenders because with their speed they're actually quite effective. Let's look at his whites. So the whites are Blodge Guard for one, and you've got Guard Mighty Blow on the other. So, not amazing players, but really solid and built up in a way that you would expect. I would have maybe dropped a Guard off and taken Tackle. Tackle is something he doesn't have, actually, looking at this. Okay, oh, need to go back. So, I'm going to pick the Stabby Stabbingtons here. I also realised that I didn't pick a team here. I'm actually going to pick Leffy here. If his Claw Mighty Blow gets going early and he causes some casualties to the Orcs, I don't think that they can keep their play style up. So if they lose 2 or 3 players in the first 4 or 5 turns, it could be a really hard game for the Orcs. So yeah, so far I've got Norse because I hate elves. I've got Necro because they are absolute bullshit, and then I've got Orcs here. Jurassic Raptors versus the Corona Crushers. Let's look into this one. So let's look at the Jurassic Raptors first of all. 16-20. You've got a Croxagore who's got Piling On as his first skill. I've never seen the Piling On animation until last week, so that was really interesting. He's also got Guard, and he's also got Stand Firm. This guy is going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. Now, what would make him harder to deal with? That's right, a Strength 5 Saurus stood on the line next to him. So again, another really difficult player to deal with. We then have 3 Block Sauruses, one of which has Mighty Blow, and another Block Mighty Blow Saurus. So there's a lot of strength here and a lot of high AV. So that could be potentially hard to deal with. And then you have a ton of dodge, sprint, and a sidestep, 4 rerolls and an apothecary. So quite a nicely balanced team. If I missed a Ben though, I probably want that block. I probably want that with block before I feel more comfortable. This is his first season with these guys though. So season 3, he's going to hit the ground running no matter what, because he's got a solid foundation in here. He will be up against myself, so 1650, so there's not much TV difference. I've got 110 in the bank if I want to do anything fruity, but I don't think I need to. We've got the Beast here, so he's got Guard, Stand Firm, Mighty Blow, all that good stuff. Tentacles. Tentacles might be a really important one in this game, especially against the Skinks, because they're only Strength 2. So I believe they would need to roll a 9 to get away from me. So if he can get into a bunch of Skinks, that would be great. Block Mighty Blow, Warrior. This guy is pretty beasty. He's close to his next skill up, which will certainly be Claw. Although I could probably do with some tackle, right? Or Piling On, maybe Piling On. Block, again close to a level up. And then Mighty Blow Block here. So the foundation of this front line here is fairly solid now. We've got our ball carrier. This guy's an absolute beast. He's got 2 heads, sure hands, and dodge, so pretty hard to take down, but he does not have block yet, so I need to be careful about his positioning, and I need to make sure that the Sauruses aren't hitting this guy. Does have regen, and it has saved him a couple of times, but yeah, I can't be taking a Saurus hit with on this guy. Walgor. So this guy was supposed to be our saviour. And since he's got his Mighty Blow, I'm thinking, right, Block, Claw, Mighty Blow, he's going to start popping people. He has not caused a single casualty since then. Now, being said, we were playing into a lot of low AV teams, so the Claw was not really effective. This could be the first match where he's got the combo, where he's actually going up against Armor 9 stuff, so hopefully we'll see that really kick in and maybe pick off a Saurus here or there, maybe even the Croxigor if I can get lined up, but if this guy has a good day, we could really cause some decent damage. Then a couple more players, so we've got a Dirty Player, Rotter, and we've also got a Tackle Rotter, so this guy's skilled up. Last game, I just had a quick scan through, looked at his team and thought, crap, I don't have any tackle. I can throw hits with this guy against his Skinks, because his Skinks don't have block or wrestle, and also they all have dodge, so it might end my turn, but I have an opportunity to get his players to the ground, although it could be costly for me as well. So I've got 2 subs as well here. I think Ben had 1. Almost tempted. I might look at picking up a Pestigor, but I don't know if it's worth it right now. They are such good players, though. I'm going to have to pick myself for that one. I know that's super harsh, and Mr. Ben, that is no disrespect to you at all. No disrespect to you at all, but I need the win. I need the win. Roll Remains and Knights on Tiles, so again, Uber Spoons has had hardware issues, so this game won't be going ahead, so apologies guys. And then the final game is Miggy Wolfenstein versus the Blackmore Knights. So let's go and take a look. We've looked at all the others, we'll take a look at this one too. If I can stream it, I will. Blackmore Knights, 860 of Chaos. Now, his Minotaur is out. He has a Claw Minotaur, Claw Juggernaut Minotaur, that's a cool player, but he's out. And that will essentially be him retired. He has a no skill up on his warriors. They all seem to be rookies. He's got extra arms on this guy, and then the real star of the team is this chappy here. So extra arms, 2 heads, block. So he's really the sort of captain of these guys, and it's a nice player as well, but he just doesn't have the support around him. And I think a lot of that is just down to unlucky casualty rolls. He's taken a lot of injuries. 30k in the bank, can't do anything. But he's going to have a lot of inducements. If we look at Miggy Wolfenstein, there is, oh my gosh, there's a big TV difference. So, yeah, nearly 500 TV difference here. Wow. So we're going to get to see actually some really fruity stuff inducement-wise. This is a solid team. This only joined 2 weeks ago to replace the Chaos Dwarf coach. I actually think if this had been here since week 1, we might be talking about a playoff team here. If you look at the skills we've got block tackle, block, wrestle, Mighty Blow Piling On, block guard, block, movement, block, and then another zombie. Nice solid team. He's vested heavily in his rerolls, and he's actually sat on 230,000 gold. So his team is actually valued at way higher than it should be, but I don't know if the coaches noticed that or not. So yeah, pick for that game, I'm going to say Miggy Wolfenstein. No disrespect to Cammy at all, but the TV difference there is just absolutely insane. It's crazy how big the TV difference is. So yeah, I'm going to go with Miggy on that one. Cammy's got way more experience, so he might be able to pull off some shenanigans. But just through pure brute force, I think Miggy will do well there. The way Miggy plays is more damage focused, so he might actually forget about the ball and Cammy could sneak in for a 1-0, but Cammy's not going to have a team left after this. It's going to be too brutal. Okay, now let's have a look over into our Rookie Cup. So we've extended this round a little bit. We've had a new coach jump in. Nuffles Nasties versus Big Hats and Beards. So we're trying to arrange that game at the moment. As this is the Rookie Cup, we've got no firm stops on when the rounds progress. We want to make sure we get all the games played. We also have a bye week built in, but we've got a new coach. Shirley Magics has just joined, so I'm really eager to get him in here. Even if it's only for a couple of games, it'll be nice to have enough coaches to fill this out and, you know, give everyone as much experience as possible. So we'll look at the leaderboard first of all. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm at the top again. 4-0 actually. Wow, that's embarrassing. Jurassic Rookies were doing really good, and they still are, but they picked up their first draw against Crazy Balls. Crazy Balls did I just call them? I just called them crazy. Right. So that gives me a game advantage now. So I can potentially drop a draw if I need to at some point. But yeah, great start for my Vampires. We're going to have a look at that team. We're not going to go through everyone's team, but I really want to show you my Vampires. So we're going to look at that. Leo Loca's doing pretty well as well. So only difference is 3 wins, 0 draws and 1 loss. But Leo's looking really strong with his Goblins here. I believe I handed him that loss, and I hope it was me. Yes, it was me. It was me. Handed him that first loss, which has been pretty devastating. The only team that's not showing in here right now, Mamiglin, he's had a bit of an unlucky run. So he's 0-4 at the moment. Again, one of our new coaches, but he has beaten Rick Reckless in the CCL. He has taken Abnorman to a draw, which is incredible because Abnorman's, you know, one of the best coaches I know, along with Crazy and Justin and a couple of other guys if you're watching. So he does have the ability to play really well, but there's just been some like mind turn-off moments, like trying to pick up the ball on an Agi 1 player when he had an Agi 3 player that could have just strolled in, and that would have given him the win against me actually. So he needs to tighten up his game a little bit. And I know I'm calling him out a little bit on the stream here, but he killed my Rat Ogre yesterday, so I'm pretty pissed at that dude. And also, you know, the whole idea of this is we develop plays. You know, sure, is it nice to finish at the top of it? Yes, absolutely. Am I going to buy myself a trophy? Of course I am if I win it. But it's here really to develop players, and hopefully Miggy's picking up stuff that's going to help him. I'm hoping the same is happening for Andy, who's the Big Hats and Beards. Mr. Ben, you know, bordering on whether he should have taken a tier 4 team instead of Lizards, because he's a very good coach, far better than I think he gives himself credit for, but he's doing great in here as well. So it's really good to see. I'm excited. I'm hoping we're going to get Magics in here to fill one of these spaces as well, but yeah. Schedule for next week. So let's have a look at the game. Comedy Critters, so it's Crazy versus Andy. That'll be a big game for Andy if he can get that done. Andy is on Chorfs as well, so Goblins, do not feel safe. You might get smashed up. Next up, we have Miggy Wolfenstein versus the Nuffle Nasties. So this is Mamiglin's chance to pick up a win against the top 4 CCL coach. Top 4 so far could actually be the best. Against the top 4 CCL coach. That's going to be amazing. Count Bispings versus the Jurassic Rookies. So me and Ben have got each other twice this week. And this is how it worked out with me and Leo as well. We played 2 games in a week. So that's always fun. For damn sure, I'm doing the Nurgle game first because I don't want him picking up on my tendencies. Because from what I've seen, Mr. Ben is really good. But yeah, Jurassic Rookies versus the Camp Bispings. And then Shut Your Goblin. So this is Leo's team. It would have been a bye week, but I want to get Magix in there if he's got time. And we'll get Magix in. Turns out Magic's only been playing for a few months. I don't know if you guys watch his stream. If you don't watch his stream, I'm going to put a link in the description box below. If you do not watch Magic's stream, go and drop him a follow today. Go and watch some of it. He's an awesome Chaos coach, and you would not in your wildest dreams imagine that he's only just picked this game up. Incredible coach. But yeah. Open ladder. Oh no, God. Let's go back. Let's go back. What did I forget to do? What did I forget to do? I'll tell you what I forgot to do. I forgot to show you guys. So this is like when you bring someone into your house and you accidentally leave something out, and you're like, oh, this little thing. Yeah, just wanted to show you my Strength 5 Vampire. So everyone take a look at that. Let's give you a moment to appreciate it. That's right. Strength 5 Vampire. He's backed up by a Blodge Vampire and a Block Tackle Vampire and some Wrestle Thrall who no one cares about. Oh, Strength 5. Look at his hair as well. This guy is an absolute machine. And you know what? If I win the league with my Nurgle this season, I'm going to bring these vampires from the cup and I'm going to put them into our main league for Season 3. How about that? That is almost a promise. Now, we would normally cover off here the not the Rookie Cup, the Open Ladder. But turns out I'm a moron, and I set it up wrong. So the Open Ladder was supposed to double as 2 things. It's supposed to be our competition, and it was also supposed to allow our coaches to get some pre-season games with their teams going into Season 3. I set it up wrong. I didn't allow experienced teams. I couldn't change it, so, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. So essentially I've had to set up a new ladder. That is now live, guys. You can start playing games in that immediately. DOTP pre-season ladder. So get you guys in there. We're going to run the same competition up until September the 18th. Top 2 coaches go into playoffs automatically. Top 3 coaches go into playoffs automatically, sorry. And then we will pick a 4th wildcard team, which is just an interesting team. It doesn't necessarily have to have the best record, but it just might be the most interesting team that we can see in the list. What are you going to win if you win it? Well, I'll tell you. One of 2 things. If you're UK-based, you can win one of these bad boys. Now, it won't be exactly one of these. It will be whatever I can find cheap on Amazon. And we will get that sent over to you. And it'll have DOTP, Open Ladder Champion or something on there, or Elf Suck or something, just so you know it's from our league. Or if you're outside of the UK, you know, shipping's really expensive at the moment, so we will do something different. So we'll probably give you a channel sub or something like that. For those non-UK guys. UK guys, if you want the channel sub instead of the trophy, you'd be crazy, right? But yeah, we will do that. We do that. We'll give you the option. That's pretty cool. Now, it's pretty painful for me to say, but yeah, let's go look at the Player of the Week, shall we? Player of the Week. Hey guys, thanks for joining us for our Player of the Week. I would put my live reaction on here, but I swore way too much. So let's take a look. Starts off with an elf armor break, so we got something there for you guys. I know you all want to see that. And here we go. Here comes the Player of the Week. Comes in with the Beast Blitz. Gets the POW. Boom! Picks up an injury as well. And follows up into the Elven Ball Carrier. Now, I'd love to tell you that's where this clip is ending. Let's take a look at the field, shall we? Over here, we have 3 elves deep in a pocket of Disturbing Presence, I think it is. It's definitely Disturbing Presence, isn't it? Oh, the skills don't show up in the replay. That's interesting. All he has is his thrower, who's currently locked into tentacles. and this Agi 5 absolute monstrosity. Let's see what plays out. Throwing some more cover over there, obviously. Yep, straight through the tentacles. 6 up. 4 up catch. Right click elf, right click end zone. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Oh, I hate elves. Good job though, Callum. And now, back to the studio. So, that's elves. That is elves. Bastard. Anyway, one more thing to cover off this week, which is the bounty board. Now, normally I do a lot of prep for this. I'm just going to go with how I feel. We're going to get... We should go 4 bounties this week. I think we should go 4 bounties this week. I'll get them uploaded to the Discord in a second. I almost feel like doing them at random, right? So let's randomly go and put a couple of bounties on. Okay. Elven... Oh, okay. Let's click on this team. Okay, so this is an elf team. We'll probably put a couple on this, right? Okay. Oh, okay, so let's put a bounty on this guy. Falaron. So bounty on this guy. If you kill this guy, I will give you something. Yes. Yes. Anyone else? So we wanted to do 4. I feel like we should probably put a couple on the elves, right? What about this guy? Yeah. Now, I don't want this guy dead. I want him maimed. So let's take off an agility. If you can take off an agility or strength on this guy, I will give you something. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So we've got 2 more bounties to place. How about let's have a look. I'm just seeing what comes out to me. What about this Mayhem chap here? Let's put a bounty on this dude. So bounty on Mayhem. And then finally, let me do one that I can try and cash in, right? Teng actually already has a bounty on him. So let's put a bounty on this guy too. So the Croxagore here. This is one that I'm saying for myself because I've got this guy next. Bounty on this guy. There's our 4. Those are our 4 bounties. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of games this week. Guys, if you're scheduling your matches, please post in the group when they're going to be taking place. I'd like to stream as many of them as I can as it's the final round. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of Season 2 as well. I know we've got another, the playoffs and stuff like that, but the majority of you guys have stuck to all your games. You've been so easy to deal with from like an admin side. It's a poor word for it, but there is a bit of admin here. You've all been really responsive and stuff, and honestly, these last 2 seasons have been an absolute pleasure to run. So thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. We're going to hit the end credits now, and then at the end of the end credits, like most Marvel movies, we're going to have a little bit of another clip that you guys might want to take a look at. But honestly, thank you so much, guys, to our new coaches that have joined. So, we've got Ark, we've got Magix, we've got Hercules, I believe, has joined. There's been some other guys as well. Let me just see. Sir Lags a lot. All you new guys. Let me see if there's anyone else I can meet. Malf, who's joined. Misi, Wind Killer, Womba, all you guys that have joined over the past couple of weeks. Thank you so much. I hope you guys get ready for Season 3. We're going to have a hell of a journey. Make sure you check out the Season 3 video as well, the video guide on how to get your teams ready and what we allow. I'm going to be spamming it in our group over the next week just to make sure everyone's seen it. But again, yeah, thank you so much, guys. Going to roll the end credits now, and then, again, just stay around for a little bit extra. Thanks, guys. Okay.
It's taking a long time to think about what he's doing here.
He failed the GFI.
Oh, he's got the reroll.
Oh, of course it was a fucking skull.
Oh, that is unlucky.
He basically just rolled double one. Yeah.
I don't know why Norm's even playing around.
Oh my god!
There we go. Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh, the double fail! He's lost!
What the fuck? Oh my god.
I called it, mate. Stabby Stabbingtons for the win.
Snake eyes. We thought it was over. The thing is, like, I was sad for Loz because